just wanna rewind. I haven't seen you in a long time. You got me feeling so lonely.
This is the Sigma Podcast, and today we're going to be introducing each member, starting with Chase Cofield.
I'm Chase Cofield. My family lives on a ranch, and we have about 800 head of cattle, so that's how we are involved with the Fall River agriculture.
All right, next we're going to go on to Tucker.
My name is Tucker Amick. My family lives on the ranch, and we run cattle.
All right, now we're going to go to Esteban Morales.
It's me, Esteban Morales, and we don't really do all that kinds of stuff over here in Pittsville, Little Valley, you know, because I don't do that stuff.
All right, I'm Joshua Venegas. I'm the main host, and I live on River Ranch, and that's about it. I don't know. Don't really do any of that stuff. My parents do. I don't. All right, Chase Cofield. How do you feel if, let's say in your future, you decided to stay here? How confident are you? Do you think that you would be able to have a farm life here in the Fall River Valley?
Well, I think I'm pretty confident. I've grown up with agriculture in my life, so I think I could see myself working on a ranch. I wouldn't necessarily see myself owning one or running one, but I could definitely work for one for a little bit. Maybe not my whole life, but I will definitely do it for a little bit though, just for the money.
All right, Tucker.
I could see myself running one, but right now it's probably really hard because everything's so expensive. And yeah.
All right, Esteban.
Never.
Never? Can you say why?
No.
You can't say why.
No.
Why not? Just say.
No.
Say you don't see yourself doing it.
Yeah, I just don't want to do that stuff. You know, I just don't see myself doing that.
You rather be on Feed Finder and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
All right, Josh, how about you?
I probably, I don't know. I just can't see myself doing that. If I had to, I would, but it's not really my style. I don't know. I feel like I don't see myself doing that in the future, and I feel like it's gonna be hard if I ever try to own land or anything like that. It's hard to get it started up, and I don't know. I just think I'd rather go in a different direction. Who am I here with?
Rick Neugebauer.
Okay. And this is Joshua.
Chase?
Tucker.
Esteban?
And we're going to interview you about agriculture in the Fall River area. Does that sound okay?
Sounds okay to me.
All right. First question. How does someone get into that type of business around here?
Into agriculture, you're talking about?
Yes, into agriculture and stuff.
Well, there's plenty of opportunities in our valley, depending on what avenue you want to go down. If you'd like to get into mechanicking, maybe being a diesel, you might want to head over to Pape down the road there. If you want to get into parts and dealing with customers and ordering parts, you might head a little further down to Napa. If you wanted to get into actual production agriculture, say strawberries, hay production, cattle, wild rice, any crops, garlic, then you're probably going to want to go to one of the local producers in our valley here, talk to them about maybe an entry-level position, getting started in their company with hopes of maybe someday being a part of all the different aspects of an agricultural business.
All right. That sounds good. I have Chase here. He's going to ask you a question.
Who do you recommend to start with, what company here for agriculture?
Well, you're going to have some startup costs, and those startup costs could be anything from land, trying to find if it is production agriculture you want to do, or if it's something along the lines of working at a facility that's already in place, as I said earlier, like a PAPE, for instance. Either way, you need to sit down and figure out kind of what direction you want to go. If you're going to start, as I said, in production agriculture, you're going to need ground. And so you're going to have to either buy some, which could be rather expensive, or you're going to have to rent or lease ground so that you can get something going. So depending on what you want to do, I know that you can also maybe get a little flavor of different things. I know the farm supply over here has several different operations going on, from chemicals to store to parts to panels to their other option they have is livestock, in which they ranch and raise cattle. So really kind of depends on where you want to go and what you want to do in order to find out what it's going to cost you, or if you're not going to need any startup costs and just get going to work sweeping and inventory and delivery, things of that nature.
I have another question.
Okay.
So how much do you think it is to start your own cattle business here? Like, how much is like usual cost for it, the outcome?
Well, right now is not the time to get into the cattle business because there's too few in production, and because of that, cows right now, just a simple cow that maybe has had a couple calves, and you try and go buy her, let's say, at the All Tourist Market or down at Orland Livestock Yard, you're probably going to pay anywhere from $2,000 to $3,500 a round, and that's not with a calf at side. That's just an empty cow that's waiting to get pregnant and produce. If you're going to try and start up, say like feeder calves, you know, you're talking from birth to the time that they have their first baby is 2 years. So depending on what size you get them, 800. If they're weanlings, you're probably looking at somewhere between $1,800 to $2,700 right now on the market for an open heifer, a young heifer, and then you're going to have to feed her for at least 18 months before you're going to have anything to recoup in the way of a calf that she's going to produce. So depending on how many you want to get started, you know, you're looking anywhere from probably $18,000 to $100,000, depending on how many you want to buy. Okay. That doesn't include feed or pasture or rent if you're going to feed them in a dry lot. Just depends. Lots of different options there.
All right, I have a question. How much does horse semen cost in like today's market? Do you know?
Horse semen?
Yeah.
Well, interesting question. I am not sure, but that would probably depend on the quality of the stud you're using. I would imagine the last time I had anything to do with that industry, I think to rent or to inseminate a horse, your mare or your filly, was going to cost you about $500 to have all the setup costs. And then you're probably anywhere from $1,000 to, I know some stud fees, some of these high dollar quarter horses or thoroughbreds, you're probably looking at $30,000 to 50, maybe even 60,000 for an insemination.
All right, so some pretty cheap stuff right there, huh?
Sure, if you got those deep pockets, go ahead, buddy.
Especially for a guy like yourself, huh?
No, Nuke doesn't dabble in the horses at all.
Oh, really?
No,
You
really.
do double in like cows in the steeds, right?
We do have cows, yes.
Yes. And okay, let's move on to Tucker here.
I got a question.
Oh, okay.
Besides the
Chase,
horse
back to
semen
you.
and all that. So what farm methods or technologies are commonly used by local farmers in this area?
Wow, quite a big question right there.
Again, you're talking a pretty vast question. If you're going to, let's just take farming. Okay, so the typical, a lot of hay operations up in the area here. So you're dealing with a tractor disc that's going to prep the ground, turn the soil over. You're probably going to have to go in and either spring tooth it or go over it again with a disc and some kind of a clod eliminator and get it prepped for planting. Then you're going to need a planter. Once you're done planting, you're going to have to look at some point in time the harvesting side of it. So you're looking at a swather, a hay rake or a tedder, a baler, and then a harrow bed to pick it up. All those pieces of equipment, the least any of them is somewhere between $50,000 and $100,000 a piece.
So pretty expensive to get to that.
Very expensive. However, there are people that custom farm, and that's all they do. They don't really own ground or produce hay themselves. They just provide the services to put up hay, as we call it.
So kind of like another question here. How many kids do you have?
Wow, another random question. We went from horse semen to now how many kids do I have? I have 3 children.
3. And is it okay if I ask how old they are, each one of them?
Daughter is 36, son is 34, and youngest son is 28.
All right, and how old are you?
58.
58, pretty young. How long have you been working here for, Fall River High School?
I started in 2000, and so that'd be 25 years just completed and it's going on 26.
Okay. And what jobs did you have before, to get you into this little establishment that you have here?
Establishment that we have here is an ag program, which would mean I'd be a teacher. So before I started teaching here, I taught 4 years at a school by the name of Livingston High School in Central California.
Okay. And was that school nicer or was it worse than this one?
I would say it was much different. We had about 2,500 students. Here we have about 200 students. So that's a drastic change and difference. But we are very agriculturally based here in the Intermountain area. And so our kids are a little more savvy of agriculture and what's around them. And that's much different than where I was in teaching at Livingston, where most kids lived in town and didn't have an opportunity to raise an animal or understand what agriculture really is about.
Yeah, I can imagine that life. Let's move on to Tucker here.
Besides all that, how has agriculture in this area changed over the past few years or even generations?
Well, a lot more technology has been brought into agriculture, especially in production areas. And so we're starting to see a lot more change in labor force. It doesn't require as much labor, so it's costing a lot of people their jobs. So that's probably one of the most recent changes we've seen in the industry, especially here in the Intermountain area. However, there's still a lot of people that are, have backgrounds or families that have been in agriculture for several generations. That's kind of one of the unique things that we have here in our valley as opposed to maybe farming down in the Central Valley where there's a lot more corporate. And so you have a rancher or you have a somebody that is a farm manager. We still have a lot of family farms up here. And so all the labor and the day-to-day opportunities and duties still fall on dad, maybe his sons, maybe an uncle, maybe their daughters. So there's still a lot of opportunity in our valley. It's just it's getting a little tougher. And we have to get a little more specialized in the things that we do and try to compete with the markets of the corporate world, let's say, down in the valley.
All right, Tucker has another question for you.
Another question, what are some challenges local farmers face?
Well, transportation is a big one. Trucking, there's not enough trucking. It's very difficult to find enough people that are involved with that. Keeping costs down. But probably one of the biggest things that's facing California agriculture in particular is the subsidies and all the regulations that we have to meet for the state of California. And so our labor is getting to be much more difficult and cost more. Everybody seems to be at the government level has their hands in the pot, so to speak. And so everybody has to be addressed and considered. So it can be a little more expensive in terms of your operational costs. However, right now, agriculture has always been very cyclical in nature. There's a lot of hay in production, not enough cattle, so hay prices are down. There's not enough cattle, so the prices for cattle is very high. So if you can diversify and let's say you're a family cow-calf operation that runs hay operation as well, you're probably doing okay because if you're selling cattle and marketing cattle, and we know that market's really good. Hay is not as popular right now, but if you're feeding your hay, you're producing your hay and feeding it to your cows, that's a savings to you as well. Some of the other areas, like strawberries are big in our valley. It's beginning to be a little more difficult. We produce mother plants up here, and so now a lot of those operations are moving more down into the Central Valley areas because of the transportation and getting plants actually shipped and equipment and fertilizer and all those things that go into those type operations. If you're talking about wild rice, there's an abundance of it right now. We're at a surplus, so we're trying to find new markets to ship that to, places to go. Still, some of the best hay for horses, Timothy, is growing here in our valley. So as long as the racetracks still have those demands and big horse operations, we'll probably be okay along those lines. Outside of that, those are probably some of the major areas and some of the major concerns that we have in terms of production costs in agriculture in the Intermountain Valley anyway.
All right. Do you think you are a harsh teacher? You know, some kids might say that you are, but me personally, I don't think you are. But Chase over here the other day was saying, "Man, this Noog is so harsh on me. You know, always having me working."
Oh,
and
a
stuff."
harsh teacher. I thought you said a horse teacher. I thought we were back to the horse subject
No,
again.
no, sir, no.
I don't think so. I think I'm just trying to be as real. And I try to put real world application into my classroom and into my students. A lot of what we do in shops, they're learning by doing. You know, if somebody wants to be successful at something, I guarantee you they'll figure it out. If I told you there was $1 million at the end of the year, if you got your degree, you'd sure figure it out, wouldn't you? So I apply that to real life, and I can cover for you. I can accept your mistakes, and hopefully you'll learn from those things. But at some point, you're going to have to be responsible for you, Josh. And so the understanding that there's real-world application after 4 years of high school is going to hit you in the face whether you like it or not.
You know.
I have a question for you.
Oh, okay, Chase.
Well, first off, I did not say that about you.
Oh, don't
and
lie.
also,
Don't lie now.
when do you plan on retiring? Because we know you've been here for a while.
Wow.
Well, maybe you want me to go today. I could retire today if you want me to. But no, I'm starting to look at that and see just how many more years. Obviously, from a financial standpoint, you have to be concerned living in the state of California, taxes, and a lot of things that go into your retirement decisions have to be considered and looked at. Fortunately, I've invested okay, so I could retire tomorrow if I need be. But probably I just need to look at the quality of teaching. And if I'm still enjoying it, I still like kids, I will probably hang around as long as that exists. Otherwise, I might want to just step back, be grandpa, play with my cows and pigs, and have fun.
So you just kind of want to do your own thing after retirement? Or are you going to try to get more into business, something like that? More money?
Well, we'll just see where that goes. There's several options that are available, but I just don't know where that lies right now. I think for me, I really want to get things settled in our ag department. We have a new barn we need to finish up. We have some work in the corrals we need to finish up. We're starting to get the pig barn done. I'd like to tie up a lot of loose ends before I actually start to consider maybe stepping away and doing something else if there is.
All right, we're going to give Esteban a chance here. Hasn't had a chance to talk. So, Esteban, what's your question?
How important is agriculture to the local economy and community life?
Well, the agriculture in this community is vital. I think if anybody has an opportunity to go down to the Intermountain Fair and watch the kids show, but probably more importantly, have an opportunity to go to the junior livestock auction, they would find out that our kids are very, very well supported. And that comes from a lot of the people that are involved with agriculture, whether it's directly or indirectly. I think the real world application is people in this valley know the important role that agriculture plays in their daily life and understand it. And so that's why it's a very strong support system. There's not too many schools that have 2 English teachers, 2 math teachers, 2 science teachers, and then have 2 ag teachers. So our ag department is a pretty strong program. And I think that people within the community want to make sure that exists, and that's kind of an obligation I've always felt I needed to fulfill. And I still feel to this day that without our agriculture in this community anyway, we wouldn't have a whole lot. And it's not too often you can find a school that allows kids to play 3 sports, toot a horn, be in the Interact Club, and then go down the road and compete in FFA events and show an animal in their summer fair.
All right. Is it true that you were an absolute stud back in your prime?
Stud what?
6-pack, absolutely rockin' body, hunk of meat.
I probably never, ever would have been those words or description be used in the same sentence with my name. I can tell you that I was 180 pounds, dripping wet, 5'10". I don't mind telling you I was very strong. I don't mind telling you I was very quick. and very smart. So I use those to my advantage because I love the game of football, but there's not a lot of guys my size playing it. So I had to figure it out.
And how lucky do you think you are for having someone like Teresa as your wife?
Excuse me. Teresa, she's the backbone of our family. So I'd just probably leave it at that. Without her, there wouldn't be me.
So she's your everything. Is that what you're trying to get at?
Pretty much. Thanks, Josh.
Yeah, no
That's
problem.
good choice of words.
So, any more questions?
Esteban, you got any or no?
Yeah. All right, let's go back to Esteban here.
How do farmers manage pests and disease?
Oh, well, there's a couple different avenues that you could go to manage your pests and disease. I think a lot of our strategies now, because there's such a concern for the safety of food, that we've used a lot more advancements in technologies. For instance, we have drones, we have spray rigs now that have computer sensors on them that will identify a particular weed species and apply a herbicide to that weed only. So that's one way of not getting excess amounts on our food. I think there's just what we call a respect for the way that we produce crops in particular that are going to go into the food chain, whether they be for livestock or for humans. We have to be concerned, and I think that we utilize all the advancements that we can within financial means. So in other words, once our inputs exceed the output or the money that we receive for the sale of that crop, then we have to be concerned that maybe this isn't what we want to be doing. But I think by and large, there's a lot of different approaches to that. Traditionally up here, we know what our we know what our soil profiles are, we know what our insect species are that we have to combat. And so the strategies that we use as farmers and local producers, we take good care of that. A good example would be the vaccination programs that we use in our cattle. We know specifically what things our cattle are going to be exposed to living up in the higher altitude. And so our vaccination programs reflect the defense mechanism, if you will, to build up those antibodies and immunity to that so that that's passed on to those calves, that those cows will produce, and so forth.
All right, and one last question here. If you had to choose out of us four, who would you adopt?
Who would I adopt? I don't know. I'm looking at all four of you, and I think each of you brings certain things to the table. So I'd probably have to bring my boss into it, since my wife would be the other one involved with that decision process. So before I'd step all over my doogie here, which I'm not going to do, I'd probably have to consider. But if I could adopt all four of you, I would. Honestly, I truly would.
All right, then. I think that's it. So thank you for your time.
Hey, you're welcome. You guys have a good day.
You too. And for today's sponsor, the Farm Supply. More on that with Noob.
Farm Supply over here has several different operations going on, from chemicals to store to parts to panels to their other option they have is livestock, in which they ranch and raise cattle.
And now, time for trivia time with the Sigmas. Everybody say hello.
Hello? Hello.
What's up?
All right, my first question to you guys is, what category do these belong in? Bananas, pomegranates, and eggplants. All right, what category do they belong in?
Fruit.
All right, Tucker?
Fruit and vegetables.
Okay.
Food.
Food. You are all wrong. It is berries.
What?
They are.
Excuse me, sir. I don't think bananas are considered berries.
Those three are actually considered berries. They're in the berry family. All right. So, next thing we're going to go ahead and do is, what is the number one crop produced in the U.S.?
Corn.
Peas.
And it was corn. Jason Tucker got that one right. Let's go ahead and go to... Okay. What ranking are pigs in intelligence?
What do you mean by that? Like IQ wise or what?
Like out of animals, what ranking are pigs in like, worth of intelligence?
I have no clue. I don't get that answer.
What ranking do pigs go inside of like intelligent animals?
How do you answer that?
It's like one.
What number?
Yeah, what number are they?
Oh, like probably like 5.
3.
5 for Tucker,
3, I think 3.
3 for Chase,
Like a 6 or 7.
6 or 7 for Esteban. They are 4th ranked.
Yeah, that's close.
They are really smart. Yeah, dolphins are. Yeah, they're on there. Chimps, dolphins, and elephants, and then pigs are 4th. And then what's the longest recorded flight for a chicken?
I don't think this really involves agriculture, but I think it's like probably like 50 feet.
Oh no! Like and time.
Oh, in time?
Yeah, feet and time.
Oh, probably like 30 seconds.
So 30 seconds.
Wait, actually, no. Maybe like 20 seconds. 20 seconds.
20 seconds
20
for,
seconds,
for
yeah.
35 feet? Mm-hmm. Okay.
How does this relate?
How does this relate? I don't know. It's agriculture. It's an animal. Come on.
I'd say like 20 feet for like, I don't know, just 20 feet.
20 feet. All right.
Wait, so what was the question? So like
Feet and time that a chicken will fly. Like, what's the longest recorded time and feet?
it's probably gonna be something impressive. So like 50, and like
So 50 feet?
in 1 minute.
1 minute and 50 feet. The answer is 301 feet and 13 seconds.
That chicken was zooming.
Okay. How many gallons of water does a dairy cow need to drink?
Saying like these 25 gallons.
Like,
Do you guys want to know how, like...
Yeah, what's the period of time on it? Yeah.
Okay. To produce milk. Like 1 gallon of milk. To produce at least 1 gallon of milk. How many gallons of water do they need?
I'm going to say like 13.
13 gallons of water
Yeah.
for 1 gallon of milk?
I'm gonna say like 10.
10 gallons?
I'll say like 6 or 7.
6 or 7 gallons? The answer is 2 gallons.
Oh, man, wow.
So 2 gallons of water is 1 gallon of milk. Okay.
6, 7.
6, 7. Okay. For my next is gonna be... Okay. How long does a pineapple take to grow and be ready to harvest?
I think I'm going to say 3 months.
3 months?
6 months.
6 months?
7 months.
7 months. It is actually roughly around 2 years. For just one pineapple. Okay. Next, we're going to go ahead and do... What was the founding year of the National FFA organization? When did they establish it?
I think I'm going to go with 1915.
1915?
Yeah.
1925.
1925.
1867.
1867. It is 1969. Wow, and you guys are in FFA. Goes to show, huh? Okay, what are the official colors of the FFA emblem?
Blue and gold.
It has to be like legit, because it's a certain type. Like,
Well, the yellow, it's like a corn, like a gold yellow. And then like the blue is like a navy blue.
navy blue and gold yellow?
Yeah.
Okay, Tucker?
Gold, yellow, navy blue.
Gold, yellow, navy blue?
Gold, yellow, and blue.
Okay. It is national blue and corn gold. All right, and that's all the questions we have for today. So, see you guys on my next podcast. Yeah. Thank you for listening to our podcast. This is the Sigma Boys, and we're just going to be recapping some of the stuff that we learned here today.
So, first off, we interviewed Rick Neugebauer. We got his thoughts and experience with agriculture. It was pretty interesting. And yeah, then we did a quick trivia on each one of us about questions, and it was a little interesting. Some questions were little difficult. Had no idea. And yeah, Joshua?
All right, I do want to point out some drawbacks about agriculture here in the Fall River Valley. We are a pretty small town, so there's not much that you can really do about that. We also do have very high prices around this area. Most things are not cheap at all because, once again, we are far away from major areas. There are obviously way better areas to do agriculture in because it's main agricultural land. But it's not that bad here still. But those are some of the drawbacks that you will be looking at.